Live from the Icebox Studio in Montgomeryville, Pennsylvania, it's the Bill and Corey Show.
I'm Bill.
And I'm Corey.
Welcome back. This is our 76th live Bill and Corey Show.
Yeah.
We didn't have any trombones for it. And it also happens to be...
And 76 isn't really like a milestone number.
No, it really isn't. Some people do. I don't know. In Philadelphia, there's big deals.
I was going to say for America, 76, you know.
Yeah. So anyways, we got some questions, obviously. First question, hopefully we can fit this, being able to read this question into the show. Okay, this is, I have a customer who reached out to me regarding excess flow alarm on their GSM 12, and they were unable to reset. I sent them basic instructions, but they were still unable to reset the alarm. So I had them send me photos of their system. From the photos of the gas panel, built not by Matheson.
Key point.
We did not build this panel. Disclaimer. I noticed they have an AP Tech excess flow switch installed sideways gas.
Horizontally, I think would be the better
sideways,
word.
Yes, horizontally.
I don't know. Yeah.
This is Canada. Maybe they don't have horizontal.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have the metric version.
There's still more to the question, so I cannot get this whole question in one breath. I informed them that this is installed incorrectly and explained how the EFS works, excess flow switch works. I suggested that they try a magnet to manually reset the EFS, which is a pretty smart thing to do. Mm-hmm. But said I couldn't guarantee that it would work. It turns out it did work to reset the alarm.
Then what's going to happen when how's it not going to
work? So there's a little tip of the trade. If your EFS gets stuck, try a little magnet thing to move it down. So they went back to the company who built the panel for them, not us, who was refusing to modify it without charging them a significant fee. So they have asked me whether they can continue to use the system as is and use their magnet to reset the alarm. Oh, jeez. If and when they encounter one, since you're more familiar with these EFSs than I wanted to check with you, do these EFSs, excess flow switches, even work when mounted in this configuration? My gut says that they're more likely to have false alarms this way, as well as potentially missing excess flow conditionings. Your thoughts?
Well, that's the first thing.
My first thought is a really long question.
Well, I was thinking about the just do the but if it's a real situation, how do you know it's a false alarm versus a real alarm at that point?
Right.
You know.
Oh, you want to put up the first image? This is their panel. I took out whitened out their logos and stuff. So
don't want to shame them too much.
Okay, so they got. Well, I don't want to. They're designed. It's a different style.
No,
of design.
but I'm sorry. It is really crappy. Whoever this is, that they won't fix their mistake.
Yes, it really is.
I mean, that is.
If we had a mistake,
if we did that, we would fix it.
We would fix it.
But of course, Bill, as you said yesterday during rehearsal, what did you say? We don't make those mistakes. Well, we're perfect.
I can't remember if we've had instances when the customer changed their specs on us or something like, oh, no, I didn't want to have that. I wanted to have this. Yeah, we're like, okay.
Our customers make mistakes. We don't.
No. Or they got something and it just wasn't. You really should change it.
But you should fix your mistakes.
Okay, anyways, their excess flow switch is circled there in red. It is horizontal. These things are attitude sensitive. It should be in the vertical position. If you look at this, you got the cylinder and you got a pigtail. It's got
is it like a check valve in there or something? Like, how does it work that the verticalness or the horizontal?
Oh, it's like a rotometer. It's a sensitive float.
Okay, there you go.
It's a sensitive float. That's why. And
so it measures flow that way. Interesting.
Yeah. So it's think of a ball and a rotometer.
No, that makes sense. Why the EFS is a good.
Yeah. So it's just kind of So the force isn't. It's not a lot of force involved in the excess flow switches. So it could be. Yeah, the fact that you have to have them vertically to work properly, and then. Some issues here. They've got, you see the pressure regulator. It's got the 2 gauges on it. Kind of looks a little Mickey Mouse there. And then you've got the
no, I can't unsee that.
the process outlet. I'm pointing up to the top. I don't have a little. I need one of those little telestrator things. But yeah, that's the process outlet up top, and they got a vent valve at the bottom. Another issue here is when you're venting, you could EFS could trip, and that would GSM 12s on top of the cabinet. I'm guessing it's outside the cabinet, and that red valve in the bottom rightish, pneumatically operated, would close. So yeah, so we'll show. Let's go to the next graphic. This is what we would do, the kind of panel we would do. This is our 5500 series panel. Here, it's got 5500 because it's got 5 valves.
Well, the 500 because it has 5 valves.
Yeah, the 500. It's a 5000 series, right? Yeah. A 5300
has 3 valves.
3 valves, not 300 valves. But yeah. yes. They only would
Thank
have
you for the clarification, Bill.
Process isolation and the low pressure vent. Our 3-valve panel has a high pressure vent. It doesn't have the low pressure vent.
It does not have an excess flow switch, though, does it?
No, but we would put the excess flow switch. We do put the excess flow switch on the outlet of the process valve. That's the valve in the upper left, not the vent, but the process valve. So we would put it there, and it fits kind of nicely, and it sticks out just a little bit above the panel. But that's where we put it. And they could have done the same thing on their graphic. Put the valve up there.
There you go.
Yeah, and we have it a little more compact. That's just
that's the first thing I noticed was that panel was huge.
The other panel is huge, so you could take all the stuff they have there and squish it down into here. Well, they also have
12 by 14.
They have a pressure switch in there too, so you'd have to tap off something. So you do have to spread it a little bit.
And typically we don't like stuff hanging off the panel because that means it can get nicked or something.
Yeah, but we could squeeze something in there on that. So I think that, let's go back to the screen, and we're going to show excess flow switches. This is what they have. Zoom in. This is the AP Tech. We just sold just the excess flow switch, so it's up to them. But it's got the AP Tech part number on there, and if you go to AP Tech website and you look up this series, the 7400 series, the catalog sheet tells you it should be within 8 degrees of vertical. I don't know how you're going to measure that, but it's going to be. Get out your protractor kit.
So there's horizontal and vertical. It's sideways and what? Upright?
Yeah, upright.
Is that okay?
Now the other ones we
8
use.
degrees of upright.
we also use. Typically, we use the suede lock ones for our panels, and this it's got a lot of stuff etched. They like etching things on there. Got the logo, it's got the flow direction, and on the other side it tells you, hey, this end up.
There you go.
There you go. It tells you this end up.
So that one has it on it, which is nice. I mean,
so it's on there. But
our diaphragm valves have arrows. I mean, a lot of stuff has arrows on it.
Right. You pay attention to the arrows.
Yeah.
And, well, AP Tech has arrows, but it doesn't tell you that it goes up.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Arrow helps, but you can put the arrow going this way.
Yeah, well,
you can turn the arrow any way you want.
When I first looked at don't zoom in. When I first looked at the AP Tech switch, I go, yeah, it tells you it goes up. It goes, oh, no, it doesn't. It just tells you the arrows go up.
So, or the flow through.
The flow through, yeah. The arrows are going to go whatever way you, whatever you mount them. Oh, geez, they kind of skipped through.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah.
Kind of skipped through a bunch of questions.
Oh, wait.
Okay, next question.
I know this.
Our little teleprompter kind of a glitch there.
So we had a 3240 regulator.
Yeah, 3240 that we shipped to the customer. The customer's installing it and is getting a max delivery at 70 PSI, and they need it to be 85 PSI. So this
is our regulator.
This is the 3240 series regulator.
3240 series regulator.
We sell more than just this regulator. But
this is our regulator. The one.
This is it. This is all we sell.
3240 series, and the last number in the part number indicates the delivery pressure.
Oh, you want to pop up the next graphic? Ta-da!
Ta-da! As you can see, the 3240 is a 50 PSI max delivery pressure, which is kind of impressive that they were getting 70 PSI out of it.
Yeah, that's possible.
I know it's possible.
Yeah, we allow them.
Yeah, there's yeah. But anyway,
it's fine.
It's
100 psi gauge, 70 psi.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just saying. So I think they would want the 3241, which is 100 max, and therefore you get to your 85 psig. Yeah. When you're ordering a regulator, make sure just double check the delivery pressure. Double check. There's a few things to double check. Make sure that the materials, if you have a gas that's corrosive, or oxidation gases of those nature, so pressure. You want to make sure your inlets and outlets are things you can work with.
Pop off the graphic. Go back to the regular camera. Okay.
Yeah. Make sure your inlets and outlets are good. Some people want to change out a gauge, perhaps, but just make sure it's all the options. You know what you're getting.
Yeah. Or Zoom camera's back from vacation, so I don't know where it went.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It
went on vacation. Yeah.
It was on vacation for a couple months.
All right, next question.
Sorry, I had to bring this up because I zoomed ahead a little bit.
It's very unprofessional. Actually, no. Didn't the old news anchors on like the nightly news, local news?
People would hand things out.
Yeah, they always.
Here, Walter. Papers. Here's the next one.
Yeah, here's a.
Hot off the press.
Walter.
Wow,
did you aged yourself with that one?
There was an old newscaster, Walter Conn guy. A lot of people listen. Probably know. A lot of youngsters. He might be on YouTube.
Most famous.
Might have to get microfiche out of the library.
I was going to say his most famous thing was announcing the JFK assassination, probably.
I don't know. I think the moon landing.
Oh, the moon landing? Okay. So that's how old, 60s.
Do we have a calibration chart for rotometer tube E822? I see online just the E800. And yes, we have a website for the calibration charts for the E800. Follow-up question. Oh, we'll get to that. So zoom in on that one.
Oh, that's so you can see a little black on there. Those are numbers and little tick marks. And this is what the decal for that tube is. Yeah. And this is, unlike the E800, is a reference tube, meaning that it goes from 0 to 150, and then you can get reference charts for certain gases, and it tells you if it's at 50, it's this flow, or at 60.
It's the millimeters.
Millimeters, yeah.
We don't just randomly put.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
They're millimeters.
Yes.
So we have calibration charts.
So we have calibration charts, and that's what the question is referring to, the calibration charts. However, the E822 tube is a direct read, meaning that it's not a reference tube. So pretty much, it's direct read for air, so pretty much what you see on there, you don't need a reference chart. So if it says, right here's 50, it's 50 standard cubic feet of hour of air.
Yep. So this just shows you the kind of rotometer it goes in.
Yeah.
You don't put it on. It goes on the tube.
I know it goes on the tube. Well, you could.
A little decal on the tube. It's not for your.
Not for your car.
Not for your car.
Yeah. So not that kind of decal.
So yeah, you could use it on your car.
Yeah. And then there's a follow-up question because he was looking for the calibration charts because they wanted to change for the pressure coming out, pressure.
Correction factor, so it's at a higher pressure.
It's at a higher pressure in the outlet. So we have pressure correction factors for that on our website. We have temperature correction factors and also gas correction factors as well.
Yeah, if you have mixes, it tells you how to do a mix. Mm-hmm. So if you got like a hydrogen-argon mix and you're flowing, you need to use it on one with air. Got a little formula to figure it out.
We're working outdoors in Texas right now. You got to find out what 105-degree gas does.
Oh yeah, we got the temperature stuff. Yeah, and you probably don't want to be out there doing the math. Yeah, but one of the things is you have to be careful. Is that it's the pressure that's inside the tube, and this is in our. We have that in our help center for our rotometers. Yes. And also
there's also on our rotometer page, there's a really good graphics on how to read, especially when there's a back
We have a read a rotometer, right?
There's a video. I'm saying there's
popular
if you don't want a video, I'm saying there's a really nice how-to on our webpage on the rotometer thing as well.
Yeah. So it's the pressure inside the tube. So it's really what
I prefer reading over watching videos, actually.
Okay. Yeah. So different
people, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. So anyways, typically if people have are going to use a chart for pressure. You want to know exactly what that pressure is in the tube. So you would have the valve on the outlet of the tube, and then you can have a constant inlet pressure. Because if you try to do it here, it's like, oh, I'm going to adjust this flow and have 20 psi outlet. Good luck with that in a dynamic condition. But if you have the valve on the outlet, which would be up here, you can't just flip it because then the tube's up. You have to flip the tube.
Well, no, there's the upside down tube correction factor that we didn't talk about.
No, we don't do that. So. And that's all the questions we're going to cover today. So we're kind of past our allotted time.
Yes.
A little late last week.
So the producer's telling us to cut.
Yeah, it's cut. Yeah, I think the red light's flashing or something.
Yes.
Or just making it up. Okay, tune in again next week for another edition of the Bill and Corey Show.
Set your VCRs.